The music was loud, the lights were warm, and everyone was smiling. That was the lie. From the outside, the Christmas party looked perfect. A luxury hotel ballroom glowing with gold lights, crystal glasses clinking, executives laughing too loudly, wives dressed in red and silver, a giant tree near the stage heavy with ornaments and fake snow. Inside, my hands were shaking. My name is Elena Carter. I was standing beside my husband, Matthew Carter, the rising star of his company. Everyone knew him. Everyone admired him. Almost no one knew me. Not really. Matthew held my arm, but his grip was tight. Too tight. The kind of grip that looks loving to outsiders, but feels like a warning to the person inside it. "Smile," he whispered. "Don't embarrass me tonight." I smiled. I had learned how. For 3 years, I learned how to disappear beside him, how to dress quieter, speak less, laugh softer, never mention my family, never mention my father, especially never my father. Matthew hated that part of my life. He hated that I was black in rooms that preferred me silent. He hated that people sometimes asked questions he couldn't answer. And lately, he hated me. The band slowed. The CEO stepped onto the stage to give a toast. People applauded. Matthew leaned closer. After the toast, he said calmly, "We're announcing something." My heart dropped. "What?" I asked. He smiled, still facing forward. "Our divorce." The room kept spinning. The lights blurred. "You're joking," I whispered. He finally looked at me. His eyes were cold, confident. "You'll sign tonight," he said. I had the papers printed. Christmas is about honesty, right? My mouth went dry. "You chose a public place," I said. "On purpose." "Of course," he replied. "You won't cause a scene?" "You never do." The applause rose again as the CEO finished his toast. People cheered. Champagne was poured. Matthew stepped forward, microphone in hand. "Before we continue celebrating," he said, smiling wide, "I have a personal announcement." The room quieted. Heads turned. Phones lifted. I felt every eye slide toward me. "This year taught me the value of truth," he continued. "And sometimes truth means letting go." Murmurs rippled through the crowd. Matthew turned to me and held up the folder. "Elena and I have decided to divorce," he said. "She's agreed to sign tonight so we can all move forward." A few gasps, some awkward clapping, some smiles that didn't reach the eyes. He handed me the pen. My fingers hovered over the page. He leaned in again, quiet, sharp. "You have nothing without me," he said. "No name here, no power. No one who can help you." I looked up, and for the first time that night I stopped smiling, because across the room, near the edge of the ballroom, a man had just arrived. Tall, calm, silver hair, military posture. My father. And Matthew had no idea who he really was. That was the first thing Matthew failed to understand. He stood near the back of the ballroom, just inside the doors, coat still on, hands relaxed at his sides, no anger on his face, no panic, just focus, the kind that made rooms change temperature. I had not told him about the party. I had not told him about the divorce. All I had done was send one short message earlier that day. "Dad, I need you tonight." He never asked why. Matthew cleared his throat, enjoying the attention. "I know this is unexpected," he said into the mic, "but Elena and I believe in transparency. Lies always sounded softer when dressed like values." He turned to the crowd. "We will keep things respectful and quick. She signs, we toast, we move on." Someone laughed. Someone else clapped. Most people stayed quiet. I felt my father's eyes on me. Not questioning, not judging, waiting. Matthew handed me the pen again. "Go on," he whispered. "You don't want to drag this out." I opened the folder. The pages were thick, legal, prepared. He had planned this for weeks. "You wrote this without me?" I said quietly. "You wouldn't understand it anyway," he replied. That was when my father took a step forward. Just one. No one noticed at first. Then a few people near the aisle turned. They recognized him. Not his face. His presence. Executives shifted. A senior manager frowned. Someone near the stage leaned toward Matthew and whispered. Matthew waved it off. "It's fine," he said. "Family moment." He leaned close again. "Sign, Elena. This ends tonight." I closed the folder. "I'm not signing," I said. The words were calm, clear. The room froze. Matthew laughed, sharp and loud. "You're nervous." It's okay. I'm not signing, I repeated. Phones came up again. Whispers spread faster now. Matthew's smile cracked. You're embarrassing me. You already did that yourself, I said. A few people gasped. My father moved again. This time, people stepped aside without knowing why. Matthew finally looked past me. His expression changed. Confusion first, then irritation. Who is that? He muttered. My father stopped a few feet away. He did not speak to Matthew. He spoke to me. Elena, he said gently. Are you all right? I nodded. My throat burned. Matthew scoffed. Sir, this is a private matter. My father turned his eyes to him, slowly. No, he said. It's a professional one now. Matthew frowned. Excuse me? My father reached into his coat and pulled out his phone. I was hoping you would choose dignity, he said calmly. You did not. He tapped the screen once and handed the phone to Matthew. Matthew glanced down. His face went pale. Not confused, not angry, afraid. My father nodded once. Men who benefit rarely ask who is paying. Someone near the front whispered, "Oh my God." Another executive slowly sat down as if his legs had stopped trusting him. The CEO stepped off the stage. Sir, he said carefully, may we talk privately? My father didn't look at him. In a moment, he turned back to Matthew. You chose tonight, my father continued, because you thought public pressure would force my daughter into silence. Matthew swallowed. She agreed to this. I spoke before my father could. No, I said. You decided, like you always do. Matthew turned to me, eyes sharp. Don't do this. You already did, I replied. My father looked at the divorce papers in Matthew's hand. Those documents, he said, were drafted by a firm whose senior partner works for me. Matthew's fingers trembled. You're bluffing. My father gestured slightly. The CEO's phone buzzed. He looked down. Read the message. His face changed. Matthew, the CEO said quietly, we need to step aside. Matthew backed up instead. This is insane. You can't just... I can, my father said. And I will. He finally raised his voice. Just enough. This man used his position to humiliate my daughter in front of witnesses. That makes this a corporate liability, a public one. Phones were fully out now. No one was hiding it. Matthew turned in a slow circle looking for support. He found none. The people who once laughed at his jokes avoided his eyes. The ones who envied him looked relieved. The ones who feared him looked free. You're ruining me, Matthew whispered. My father's voice stayed steady. No, I am revealing you. Security appeared at the edges of the room, unsure who they were for. The CEO cleared his throat. Matthew Carter, he said. Effective immediately. You are suspended pending investigation. Gasps broke out. Matthew snapped back toward me. You planned this. I shook my head. I survived you. My father stepped between us. Not aggressively, decisively. This conversation is over, he said. Matthew's shoulders collapsed. For the first time since I met him, he looked small. I looked at him. Why didn't you ever tell Matthew who you were? My father smiled faintly. Because anyone who respects you only because of me does not respect you at all. The next Christmas was quiet. No ballroom, no speeches, no lies wrapped in lights. Just family, laughter, food, peace. I raised my glass and spoke once. To never shrinking for someone else's comfort. Everyone echoed it. And somewhere far away, Matthew Carter learned the lesson too late. Power borrowed through cruelty always expires. YouTube outro. If this story stayed with you, remember this. Never let someone force you into silence, just because they believe you stand alone. Respect is not granted by titles. It's revealed by behavior.